Hello and welcome to Nonny, Yanga's flagship talk show where we discuss all the hot topics. Today we look at the importance of men's health, in particular the awareness of prostate cancer. And later on in the show we'll be celebrating one of London's top Nigerian restaurants in our new segment, Nonny Bites. Yum. Joining me today, volunteers at Prostate Cancer UK, Natalie Marie and Greville Phillips. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to have you. Prostate cancer is set to become the most commonly diagnosed cancer in the UK in the next 10 years. It's currently the most prevalent cancer in men, with over 47,000 diagnosed every year. Black males are at a higher risk of the cancer, with 1 in 4 being diagnosed in their lifetime, compared to the 1 in 8 risk faced by white men. Charities such as Prostate Cancer UK fund vital research into the prevention, diagnosis and treatment of prostate cancer. And with over 11,000 men dying each year in the UK alone, the need to raise awareness and encourage people to get tested is now more important than ever. It might kind of sound like a silly question, but Greville, let me ask you, what exactly is prostate cancer?
To understand prostate cancer, you first need to understand exactly what the prostate is itself. It's a gland that sits below the bladder, directly below the bladder. It surrounds the urethra, and that's the tube through which men pee and ejaculate. Its function is to produce the semen that mixes with the sperm, so it actually transports the sperm when men ejaculate. It should be smooth and soft to the touch and the size of a walnut, but when cancer occurs, the cells within the prostate grow abnormally and in an uncontrolled way. And of course, when that happens, it's no longer small and soft the size of a walnut. It will enlarge, it will harden, and it will become very, very nodular. But the problem is that the associated signs of prostate cancer, which could be getting up in the night, going to the toilet more often, dribbling when you finish, these kind of things, don't necessarily manifest themselves until that's happened.
Wow.
Early on, there may be no signs at all, and that is the need to get checked, and that's the message we want to get out.
It's such an important message, especially for our viewers who are predominantly women, Natalie, but then of course, you know, a lot of these women have sons, they're married. I read some statistics at the top of the show. It's so prevalent, so why is it not as prevalent, I would say, in the media, or a cancer that most people are familiar with?
Well, I think also it's a demographic thing as well, because obviously it's only, you know, 1 in 4 black men, 1 in 8 white men, so demographically in the UK it probably won't get picked up as soon. There is testing, but it's only for men over 50, and apparently from what I've heard, for people that have got it, they need to really push for the actual test, and they need symptoms first before they can actually have this PSA test. So it's kind of catch-22.
What is a PSA test?
It's a blood test which can come out negative or positive, but it's not always an accurate reading. So it's catch-22. So the best thing to do is, if you do get any symptoms or you've got a history of prostate in your family, go and discuss with your GP.
Yeah,
as to if you should have this test or not.
And that's another issue, isn't it? Not just men, black men, men in general going to the doctors. I didn't even realise until I was researching about the show. I was like, why are men finding it so difficult to go to get some help?
I mean, I personally think it's crazy that they don't. I get checked every year. See, my father died from prostate cancer.
Wow.
So, okay, I'm white. You can tell. And
first white man on the show. Hey, if you didn't mention it, I wouldn't.
We're moving boundaries, right?
We're moving boundaries on Nonny, as we do all the time. But no, this is important.
But it is.
Baby steps.
1 in 8 is my risk. But because my father died from it, I'm 2.5 times more likely.
Wow.
If you're black, it's 1 in 4 to start with. But if your father had it, it's 2.5 times more likely.
It's genetically linked.
And these tests, all they involve, the PSA test, I have it done every year. You literally roll your sleeve up and a little draft of blood is taken. It's sent away. It's nothing. It takes seconds.
Unfortunately, though, a lot of the GPs, from what I hear, won't actually test unless you have the symptoms, so it's a catch-22 system.
But you have a right. You have a right, and the thing is, prostate.
To ask and demand.
Yeah.
You need to demand, though, apparently.
And you do. And the other test you can have is a digital rectal exam, which again I have every year. This is what scares men, because at this point you've got to drop your trousers, and of course it is a
in the doctors they don't like doing it everywhere else.
Rectal exam. But you know, contrary to the myths, it takes seconds. It does not hurt. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's over. and it could save your life.
Yeah, you mentioned about your father, and I'll ask you a little bit more if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Shortly. What about you, Natalie? It's
My
not
dad-
easy
my
being a
dad's had,
volunteer.
prostate cancer
Yeah.
as well. He contracted it in about 2002. It all got cleared up. He had treatment. Everything was all right. And then he got cancer of the liver. So we've always wondered whether it was kind of linked. I don't know if there's this stray cell thing or maybe it just moves around the body. So it was really, really difficult to deal with at the time.
No, I can
But
imagine.
he was treated fully for that, and then he was well for a couple of years, and then got liver cancer, and 3 weeks later, curtains.
Oh God, he passed away 3 weeks
Yeah,
later. Was
yeah.
it after he had liver cancer you felt a need to raise awareness?
Not
or-
necessarily. I mean, I came across this charity in Lewisham Market, and I just thought, oh, everyone looks really friendly, and this looks like a good cause. And I spoke to one of the women there, and they said they were looking for volunteers, and I thought, oh, why
Yeah,
not,
and you had
really?
a- you
So it
had a
wasn't
personal
necessarily
link.
Yeah, I mean, that just happened to happen. But I wanted to do something for my community in general, really. So I thought this was a particularly good cause because the awareness is so low and lacking.
Yes, of course, especially with health. And, you know,
Yeah.
we have a lot of African viewers that watch Nonny, and
Yeah.
sometimes there's something within the African community in health, it's seen as devilish. Or
Yeah, we're not going
we don't,
there,
yeah,
no,
you know,
I'm
you can
fine,
pray it
and yeah.
away, and you can't with something like this. So, Grev, why did you become... you know, a volunteer? Or I'm presuming it's because of what happened with your dad, but what made you say, actually, you know, I want to take out my time to come on shows like Nonny and to speak in other places to raise awareness for a cause that is predominantly linked to black men?
Well, I mean, the thing is, nothing happens unless you make it happen. I'm a real firm believer in that. And I just feel that because I'm associated with the disease, I'm at greater risk. Fortunately, I've not been diagnosed, but I go through the tests, I go through the things that people are very, very nervous about doing. So I can speak with some authority.
Yes.
You do not want to see someone you care about die, trust me. And I know this program is designed fundamentally for African women, and the message that I would send out to any of those is every wife nag your husband, every daughter nag your father.
Including me, I'll
Absolutely.
be doing it tonight.
And
Yeah.
every mother nag your son, because you would not want to be standing by their graveside wishing that you had. And if you get it detected early,
It can be treated
It can be
very well
treated.
successfully, yes, that's right.
and that's the thing. So to me, why stand back? Why let somebody else do it? So my view is no, I thought volunteer my time.
You said some stuff, Nat, about the GPs and, you know, them not caring enough. Again, this is Nonny, and this is kind of how we have these discussions. Do you think it's because it's predominantly affecting the black community? Because, you know, cervical cancer screenings are mandatory. Why shouldn't this be?
Because I think it's a smaller demographic, so it kind of doesn't matter so much.
Yeah.
And again, the lack of black men going to doctors as well, so the whole thing kind of doubles on itself, doesn't it? And it compounds itself, so nothing's done about it.
Can you
Until
understand
it
that,
gets
Greville?
desperate.
Can you understand that without kind of
Absolutely.
seeing blacks as having a chip
Yeah.
or kind of conspiracy theories? Is that
Absolutely.
what you've seen?
In my time, I've had lots of clients that have been African. I've got friends that are as well, so I'm completely in tune with what you're saying. And there's also the mindset there as well, because you have to physically say this, you've got to get out of the mindset of this won't happen to me.
Yeah.
It could do. You know, many times you get the impression people think it will happen to somebody else. All you have to do is walk past a busy coffee shop, look in, and you'll see lots of somebody else's. But when they look out and they look at who do they see? Somebody else. So
you're
we're all
right.
somebody
We're
else.
all somebody else. That's a,
And you
good
know,
point.
you have to get beyond that as well. But yeah, I can completely understand.
And it's funny because you say 1 in 4. Like maybe about 10 or 12 years ago, I remember a guy I used to work with had prostate cancer, and he was the first person
You've come across.
that I'd ever come across. And looking back, I haven't come across anyone since then, but I know a lot of males.
Yeah.
So surely some of them I know, if we take in the statistics,
Yeah, we'll come up with symptoms.
we'll
at some
have
point,
symptoms, but then,
Absolutely.
you know, they're not discussing it. Before we go to the break, please tell me a little bit about Prostate Cancer UK and, you know, what the charity are doing to try and raise awareness. Are they putting pressure on the government and on the NHS to try and make screenings such as this
Do
mandatory?
you feel, because you've been working them a lot with them?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, their mission is to find a cure for prostate cancer, and in the meantime, it's to prevent unnecessary deaths. Really, I mean, they finance or they help fund a lot of research into the diagnosis, the prevention, and the treatment of the disease. Yes, they will speak with government and so on and so forth, but they also rely upon sort of volunteers like ourselves to help educate. There's a support network with Prostate Cancer UK.
Where is the support network? Is there a web address, which we of course will put on the screen?
So you can, anybody can telephone 0800 074 8383. And you can talk to one of the support nurses. It's all in confidence.
Women as well. Women as well.
Absolutely,
yes.
absolutely right. And you can talk with these support nurses in total confidence. No one, they're going to be helpful. They're not going to hinder. You can text 70004, nurse 70004, and you'll get a call. If you're a bit nervous about talking, you can go online at www.prostatecanceruk.org.net/get-support, and you can enter into a email dialogue or an online chat.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of support.
There are support systems, even if the GPs are not.
I think the black community, I think there needs to be a lot more awareness. That's no slight on the
that's why we're having this chat
on the
now.
charity, but it seriously needs to be on black radio stations, black TV stations, magazines, any kinds of media. Really,
we've got to stand up to cancer.
70% of black men don't kind of realise that the primary risk is because of ethnicity.
Yes.
By 2030, it will be the most prolific cancer in the UK. That's a fact.
God, that's a shocking statistic, isn't it?
And that's why something's got to be done. And half of it, though, is people going to go and get checked. Get checked.
Still to come, we continue our discussion on men's health and ask why men often shy away from going to the doctor. And later, we'll be joined by co-owner of Enish Restaurant, Eniola Medupin, for Nonny Bites. Can't wait. See you after the break. Welcome back to Nonny. Now, the failure of men to confront everyday health issues and discuss them with a doctor is a much debated topic. Men are said to be either too casual or are too reluctant to access healthcare when they're feeling ill, and instead leave it until their condition has deteriorated before seeing a specialist. A link between masculinity and men's health is often made, particularly concerning social and stereotypical beliefs about how men should behave. Some men are reluctant to seek medical attention because of masculine ideas about independence and pain tolerance. Why is there still such a stigma when it comes to men's health? I got to go to the only male on the the only male on the panel. Do you understand that? Is that right?
I completely understand it. I mean, I don't subscribe to it in the sense I have no problem in getting checked. I mean, my view is it's far better to get checked and be alive than ignore it and possibly not be.
That's so wise, but
why do you think that certain groups have, or do you think it's
it's just a male thing, you see. Women,
it's not black or white or Asian, is it?
No
or is there a class thing around it as well, do you think?
No, absolutely not. I mean, to me, women talk, right? You have a problem, you talk, whereas men don't like talking. We run off to our caves and things and stuff like this. We don't like to share.
It's funny, isn't it? Because, you know, I was just thinking about men's health just now, and I was like, but you've got all these men's health magazines, you've got all this gym equipment, you see these men really pumped up to the nines, you know. But so you can go to the gym all day, but not look at your bits.
But it's a different thing, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's kind of to be.
Is that not health?
Yeah, it is. But that's, you see, that's a positive health, right? So that's sort of get the six pack, be toned, have a white smile, because they see, but they see at the end of it, you know, I can get more girls, whatever it will be. But when you actually say, look, tell you what, do this. They see that as a bit of a negative.
Yeah, maybe. Is it possible that they're just scared of the results? Is that another thing?
Also, yes.
People were scared.
Yeah, which is kind of understandable as well.
I'm terrified every year when I go to get the PSA results, but it's not going to stop me going. But believe you me,
but lots of people it would stop
I am
going
terrified before I get them. The blood test is taken, you find out a couple of weeks later, and it's like waiting for exam results.
Do you think the media needs to play a more important part in trying to, you know, Corrie, EastEnders, there are many, Meet the Adebanjos. Do you think that they need to have more storylines about men's health? Because if you hear cancer, you know, you think of the women in Hyde Park running for their daughter, their sister, their mother. But where is it for the men?
Yeah, it's not enough. It does need to be on soaps. It does, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah, they've used soaps before to get other messages across.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So every message of society.
Use that as a platform to get it across as well.
Yeah.
Especially if one of the leading characters, for example, apparently contracts it, but you can see that the early detection meant they survived.
Do you know what, guys? I'm just so happy that you've come on to talk about this. You're both volunteers for Prostate Cancer UK. It's a really important cause, and I'm telling you, especially all the viewers, all the mums and the sisters and the wives, just, you know, speak to the men in your lives and get them tested. So now this is a new segment to Noni Bites, where we invite local chefs and business people to give us a taste of back home. So joining me now is Eniola Medupa, co-owner of Enish Nigerian Restaurant and Grill. Located in Lewisham with a new restaurant in Finchley, Enish has been branded one of the best Nigerian restaurants in London. Last year's winner of the African Pride Restaurateur of the Year award, Enish is said to prepare its dishes to contemporary standards while maintaining the unique traditional flavour of Naija food. And today I'm lucky enough to get to try some of these dishes. You can see I'm cheesing. Like, I can't stop smiling, honestly. These are amazing. Thank you for coming to our show. I've been to your restaurant. I've been to your restaurant in Finchley. Tell us a little bit about it. Your name is Eniola, so I can see that's where the name Enish comes from, right?
Yes, my name is Eniola. My husband's name is Shola. So we chose the first 3 letters in mine and then the first 2 letters in his. And
wow.
Enish. That's how we came
How,
up with the name.
how long have you been about, and can you tell us a little bit about these dishes that we've got here?
Enish Restaurant, we opened it in 2013, so it's been about 5 years, and then that was in Lewisham. Then last year, November, we opened another branch in Finchley Road.
Success.
So far, thank God. The food that I brought in...
Tuck in, guys. Grev.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
First white man on the show. Got some Naija food. Tell us about them bit by bit.
Pleasure.
He's having yam porridge and fried fish. Yam porridge is basically yam mixed with some stews and peppers and sauce, and then the fried fish marinated in tomato sauce. She's having jollof rice with plantain. The side with you could have a side of, you could have it with fried fish as well if you want, but I have it here with assorted meats. So assorted meat, so that is beef, tripe, and cow foot.
This is gorgeous.
Do you know,
So nice.
honestly, I'm kind of getting food envy. I want to try everything, but I think I'm going to try this one, which is Iyon, right? I know someone's going to say you didn't pronounce it properly. Poundo.
Yeah, that's pounded yam. So that's more or less like the yam porridge pounded and then made into a mold.
Yummy.
Efoiro and beef.
See, I'm gonna tuck into a little bit about this. But you know, Nigerian food has just become global, isn't it? Jollof. What is it about jollof that has just taken the nation's heart?
I think because rice is very, very popular and common everywhere. And then jollof is just more or less like another level, putting the rice to another level. It's has a lot of spice infused in it, and then the taste as well. And it's just not bland. It's when you eat it, you actually say that, oh yeah, I'm eating something. And then you can actually make it very spicy or less spicy, or you can just make it to your own level, really.
And the thing is, Eniola, you won the Restaurateur of the Year award last year. Why? I can tell you why, because you guys, this Eforiro is serious, I'm telling you.
I think, to me, because it was a public voting kind of event, and I think we were able to get a lot of people vote for us because we made the restaurant accessible to everyone. You didn't come into Enish thinking, oh, I'm not Nigerian, so I don't think I'll be able to handle it, or I don't think I'll be welcome here. So we were able to make ourselves accessible to different people from different origin, different backgrounds.
While still remaining authentic,
and still remaining authentic, exactly.
There's a little cough coming. I got some pepper. Now, let me bring you in before you finish, demolish that jollof. You're from the Caribbean. I would say, growing up years ago, it was all about the Caribbean restaurant boy. If you had enough money, More than chicken and chips money, you'd go and get some curry goat and rice. Have you seen now that people are, especially from the Caribbean, getting more interested in Nigerian food?
Well, I was saying to you actually, wasn't I, in the green room, that I've heard a few people mention at work saying, oh, I'm going to a really nice Nigerian restaurant at the Elephant Castle on Saturday. Ooh, this is really nice. Wouldn't have heard that 10 years ago in London.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
What about you, Grev?
Well, I'll let you into a little secret. I have had Nigerian food before.
Oh.
But this is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm not just saying that, it really is.
Yeah.
It's superb.
Not too hot pepper for
No,
you?
I mean,
Not too
I do
spicy?
like spicy things anyway, and that is, lovely.
What about you, Annie? What's next? Another chain? We've seen Ikoyi restaurant, you know, a friend of the channel. They're a Michelin-starred Niger restaurant now. Can you see yourself getting to those pillars?
Well, we are looking to actually open another branch again in Croydon. Hopefully that will work out, and then we will open. I think our aim is to try and open and manage successfully at least 5 branches, and then look into franchising as well.
Oh gosh, so you're going to have one in the Nonny studio.
If you have the space, yes,
The
sure, why
takeaway
not?
version.
Do you know, I've got to say, your food is absolutely amazing. Before we go, quickly tell us where people can find you, where they can book their Christmas parties, and where, they can come and have some of this really tasty food.
Yeah, so we have one in Lewisham, that's on Lewisham High Street, opposite the library. And we have another branch in Finchley Road. It's it's like 2 minutes walk from Finchley and Frognall Station, and about 5 minutes walk from Finchley Road.
Well, I think we can all testify, especially Grev over there, that this food is absolutely delicious, and I'm sure all of our crew and production will want to taste some too. Thank you for joining us. That's it from me, Juliana Olayinka, and my fabulous guests today, Natalie Marie and Greville Phillips. And a special thanks to Eniola Medupan from Enish Restaurant. Join me next time, guys, for more Nonny Chat. Goodbye.
Bye.